Sir, we are coming to a break in 1 minute, yeah? And I want to bring this conversation to the Philippines because today Philippines and India seem to be getting closer compared to what they were before. But before I do that, can you take a minute and just tell us what you like about the Philippines? And
Well, I'm actually very happy to be in the Philippines.
okay,
They are wonderful people.
Right.
They love good life.
right.
They are people believing in family values,
Like the Indians.
like the Indians.
Right.
They are people who are devout.
Mm-hmm.
They are the other thing which I found very fascinating about them is that
Yeah.
they have an truly globalized outlook,
Right, right.
and therefore it is very easy for a foreigner to relate to them.
yeah,
There is Asianness in them, and
Yeah.
that is what we found in terms of, as I said, family values and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And they speak English, so our interactions with them are very easy.
and that's what you like.
I mean, one is the nature of the people, and B, the values that we have. We are democratic, we are eclectic by nature,
Right.
and for these reasons, the interactions are very easy with them.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm sure the audience that is watching this show likes to hear that too. So we'll take that break and we'll come back and talk to you about what are the potentials between our two countries. And can you pause for a minute? This is a very exciting subject, no? You mentioned historical background. So can you just bring to the fore what connected us in the past, Philippines and India? There was a time that Philippines and India were quite far apart, 30, 40 years ago. That was probably because India and Philippines both were rapidly struggling against their past. But there were certain elements that connected us. Was it language or belief system? So is there a story that you can share?
Well, what I can say to you is that, of course, post-Cold War.
Yeah. This is
no, sorry, the
87.
post-Second World War,
Right.
not Cold War. Post-Second World War.
Yeah.
In one way, the trajectory, the growth of our foreign policies actually
Yeah.
diverged
Yeah.
somewhat. But that is not because of anything, because of, let's say, our own volition.
Yeah.
The circumstances were
Right.
such, that's how they developed. But the fact is that historically speaking, we've always been very close. And I can give a couple of examples. For example, the epic Mahabharata, that is epic Ramayana, which is
Ramayana,
actually, which is an epic which goes back to something like about 1000 BC. Now, in the Philippines, there are different versions
Yeah.
of the epic Ramayana.
Yeah.
For example, Mindanao,
Yeah.
it is called Maharadya Lavana.
Maharadya Lavana.
Lavana, yes.
Fabulous.
And there are scholars here who study this particular theme.
There's a certain
And if I'm sorry, I'm a little
Yeah.
excited to,
Yeah, I'm
to
glad
add
you're
this.
excited.
Yes.
That's happy, yeah.
Then Ilocano, in Ilocano, it's
Ilocano,
called
yeah.
Ilocano. It's called Lavang.
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 The Ramayana is called
Yes.
Lavang. Fantastic.
It's another version.
Yeah.
So, and there are other variants in other languages, other language of Philippines. So what I'm trying to say is that relations actually go back a long time in history.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, in contemporary times, as I said, that I think the end of the Cold War made a lot of difference. I should say that even before the Cold War ended, the relationship between our leadership was very good and very close.
Yeah.
So our various leaders have come to the Philippines, and the Philippines leaders have come to India, and particularly after what you call the end of the Cold War, in the early 90s, the beginning of what you call the phase of globalization. These exchanges at leadership level have increased quite considerably,
Yeah.
bilaterally and the India-ASEAN context.
Great.
So that really is what